Hare Krishna. Please support our channel by taking 1 second of your precious time to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today is 6th of March 2022. It's Chaturthi of Gaura Paksha, and today is appearance day of Sri Purusottama Das Thakur. Actually, on the day of Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur's appearance, it was Srila Purusottama Das disappearance day, and I was planning to do something on that day, and shortly after that we have opportunity to speak about Purusottama Das Thakur. Not so much speak about him as to read whatever we can find about him. There's not much information about him, but definitely his appearance day is, and even his appearance and disappearance day is in our Vaishnava calendar, and he's definitely a personality we want to know more about. So I found this nice website, Gaudiya History, is called desire3.com. So I'll be reading information which devotees put together from different sources about him, and so we'll have some meditation on him on this auspicious day of his Avirbhava. Okay, first it's a little excerpt from Mahanidhi Swami book, I think. Sri Purusottama Das constantly meditated on and served the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. Kanu Thakur, his son, was such an exalted devotee that Lord Krishna always lived in his body. When Kanu was 5, Janava Mata took him into Vrindavan. The Goswamis joyfully greeted him upon seeing his genuine devotion at 5, right? Of course. Why not? Prahlad Maharaj also exhibited devotion at 5 years old. In Goloka Vrindavan, Purusottama Das Thakur serves Lord Balaram as cowherd boy, Dvadasha Gopal. His samadhi is located in the 64 samadhis area. Okay, so read a little bit from, there's few biographies, which is basically excerpts from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Prabhupada's commentaries, Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur's commentaries. We just read whatever is there. The 23rd and 24th prominent devotees of Nityananda Prabhu were Sadashiva Kaviraj and his son Purusottama Das, who was the 10th Gopal. Since birth, Purusottama Das Thakur was merged in the service of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and he always engaged in childish play with Lord Krishna. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sadashiva Kaviraj was greatly fortunate. His son was named Sri Purusottama Das. Purusottama Das Thakur had no concern for his external body. Sri Nityananda Prabhu always resided within the core of his heart. This is from Chaitanya Bhagavatam, Antya-lila 5, 741, 742. Sadashiva Kaviraj was a great personality. Purusottama Das was his son. From birth, Purusottama Das was absorbed in service of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and he always engaged in childish play with Lord Krishna. His son was named Sri Kanu Thakur, a very respectable gentleman. His body was saturated with the nectar of love for Lord Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila 11:38-40. Vrindavan Das Thakur has also named Purusottama Das as one of Nityananda Prabhu's chief associates. Sadashiva Kaviraj was very fortunate to have a son like Purusottama Das. Purusottama Das had no external consciousness of his body, for Nityananda Prabhu is constantly acting through him. Chaitanya Bhagavat, I think we already read this quote. Well, just a slightly different rendition or a slightly different translation. Antya-lila chapter 5, 741, 742. Lineage. For 4 generations, the family of Purusottama Das consisted of eternally perfect direct associates of Mahaprabhu, Kamsari Sen, Sadashiva Kaviraj, Purusottama Thakur, and Kanu Thakur. The Gauranga Dipika identifies Kamsari saints as Ratnavali Saki and Sadashiva Kaviraj as Chandravali. Interesting. This is verse 156 from Gauranga Dipika, which is also the work of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Sri Purusottama Das Thakur had three principal disciples, Sri Madhavacharya, Sri Yadavacharya and Devakinandan Das. They were from Brahman family. Sri Madhavacharya later became husband of Nityananda's Prabhu's daughter, Ganga Devi. Sri Devakinandan Das was the author of an important book glorifying the life of different Vaishnavas. Purusottama Das Thakur's wife was named Janava. She passed away just after bearing Purusottama Das Thakur's son Kanu. Hearing the news, Nityananda Prabhu went to the house of Purusottama Das and took his son Kanu with him to his own village, Kadaha. Srila Prabhupada says, or village Kadadaha. Srila Prabhupada says, so the Shiva Kaviraj and Nagar Purushottam, who were the father and son, were described in the Chaitanya Bhagavata as Mahabhagyavan, greatly fortunate. They belonged to the Vaidya caste of physicians. The Gauranga Dipika, verse 156, says that Chandravali, most beloved gopi of Krishna, later took birth as Sadashiva Kaviraj, who was a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Purusottama Das Thakur sometimes lived in Sukhasagara, near Chakadaha and Simirali railway stations. I'm sorry, a lot of stumbling with all these names. All the deities installed by Purusottama Thakur were formerly situated in Beladanga Grama. But when the temple was destroyed, the deities were brought to Sukhasagara. When the temple merged in the bed of the Ganges, the deities were brought with Janava Mata's deity to Sahebasanga Bedigram. Since that place also has been destroyed, all the deities are now situated in the village named Chandudegram, which is situated 1 mile up from Palapada, as referred to above. I think this is Srila Prabhupada writes, right? Srila Prabhupada gives a lot of very detailed description of railway stations and where the different places are situated. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, Purusottama Das Thakur lived at Sukhasagara, midway between Chakdaha and Simorale railway station. Okay, this is information where Srila Prabhupada just quoting it in his... basically, the whole thing Srila Prabhupada quotes in his purpose, but we will read anyway. The deities he installed were formerly served in Beladanga village, but when the temple fell into the river, the deities were taken to Sukhasagara. The temple was also swallowed by the Ganges, and so the deities were brought with Janava Mata's deity to Saheb Danga Berigram. Since that place was also destroyed, all the deities were again moved about 3 or 4 miles to the village named Chandurigram, on the bank of the Ganges, about 1 mile up from Palpara. This is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's commentary on Chaitanya Charitamrita Anubhashya, Adilila 1139. Devakinandan Das, a disciple of Purusottama Thakur, writes, I worship Sadashiva Kaviraj with great attentiveness. He was constantly intoxicated with love and had no external consciousness. I bow down to my worshipable Lord, Purusottama Thakur. Who can list his incomparable qualities? He was merciful to those who were devoid of virtue, displaying the natural power of his compassion. When only 7 years old, he was so intoxicated with love for Krishna that he danced in a way that enchanted the entire world. From Gaudiya Vaishnava Abhidhana, some people say that Purushottama's surname was Nagar, while others say that the name Nagar comes from the name of the area where he lived. Since the 5 villages, Beladanga, Berigram, Sukasagar, Manasapota and Palpara, are so close together, this area is sometimes called as Nagaradesh. Purushottam once ate snake poison when in trance state without experiencing any ill effects. This was a source of great astonishment to all who witnessed it. Many Nityananda Prabhu's associates often displayed such miraculous powers. So there's another source of the biography, and I'm pretty sure it would be very much, some points would be repeated. This is from Sri Chaitanya, His Life and Associates by Srila Bhakti Vallabh Tirtha Maharaj. Okay, and so again, Sadashiva Sutta Namna Nagara Purushottama Vaidya Vamshobhava Nama Dama Yo Vallabha Vraja. Nagar Purushottam was previously the coward named Daman in Vraja. He is now born as in the Vaidya family as a son of Sadashiva. Gauranga Desha Dipika 131. Daman was one of the 12 Gopals and the companion of Krishna in his childhood pastimes in Vraja. In the 11th chapter of Adi Lila, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has listed Purushottam Das among the devotees of Lord Nityananda. Sadashiva Kaviraj was a great personality. Purushottam Das was his son. From birth, Purushottam Das was absorbed in service of lotus feet of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and he always engaged in childish play with Lord Krishna. His son was named Sri Kanu Thakur, a very respectable gentleman. His body was saturated with nectar of love for Lord Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita 11, Adilila 11, 38 through 40. Vrindavan Das Thakur also named Purushottam Das as one of Nityananda Prabhu's chief associates. We read this already. That would be the 3rd time we quote in this one, but nevertheless. Sadashiva Kaviraj was very fortunate to have son like Purushottam Das. Purushottam Das had no external consciousness of his body, for Nityananda Prabhu is constantly acting through him. Chaitanya Bhagavatam, Antya-lila, chapter 5, 741, 742. So at least we will remember these facts about Purushottam Das Thakur for sure. For 4 generations, the family of Purushottam Das consisted of eternally perfect, direct associates of Mahaprabhu, Kamsari Sen, Sadashiva Kaviraj, Purushottam Thakur, and Kanu Thakur. The Gauranga Desha Dipika identifies Kamsari Sen as Ratnavali Saki and Sadashiva Kaviraj as Chandravali. Again, it's 156 from Gauranga Desha Dipika. Purushottam Thakur's wife was named Janava Devi. She died while her son Kanu Thakur was just a young child. Nityananda Prabhu named the boy Shishu Krishna Das. It is said that Nityananda Prabhu's wife Janava Devi adopted Kanu and took him with her to Vrindavan. Some say that he was one of the 12 Gopals. One legend about Kanu Thakur holds that when in Vrindavan, while he was dancing in Kirtan, his ankle bell flew off. He vowed that he would make his residence wherever his ankle bell was recovered. When it was found in the town of Bodhikana in Jessore district, he established his Shripad there. In the opinion of some, Madhavacharya, Madhava Chattopadhyaya of Jirat in Hooghly district, the husband of Nityananda Prabhu's daughter Ganga Devi, was Purushottam Das Thakur's disciple. Srila Bhaktivinoda Saraswati Thakur has the following to say about Purushottam Thakur's Shripad. Okay, this is again many difficult places, and we already read it 2 times, but let's do it again. Purushottam Das Thakur lived at Sukasagara, midway between the Chakada and Simorali railway stations. Okay, it's going smoother this time. The deities he installed were formerly served in Beladanga village, but when the temple fell into the river, the deities were taken to Sukhasagar. The temple was also swallowed by Ganges, and so the deities were brought with Janava Mata's deities to Saheb Danga Berigram. Since that place was also destroyed, and all the deities were again moved about 3 or 4 miles to the village named Chandurigram on the bank of the Ganges, about 1 mile up from Palpara. Anubhashya commentary, Adilila 1139. Devakinandan Das was the author of Vaishnava Vandana, was Purusottama Das Thakur's disciple. There he writes, I worship Sadashiva Kaviraj with great attentiveness. He was constantly intoxicated with love and had no external consciousness. I bow down to my worshipable Lord Purusottama Thakur, who can list his incomparable qualities. He was merciful to those who were devoid of virtue, displaying the natural power of his compassion. When only 7 years old, he was so intoxicated with love for Krishna that he danced in a way that enchanted the entire world. Again, this is the second time we're quoting that. We pretty much 2 or 3 times went through everything, so I'm pretty sure we will remember a lot about Purusottama Das Thakur if you went through this podcast. The following supplementary information is given in Gaudiya Vaishnava Abhidhanam. Some people say that Purusottama Thakur's surname was Nagar, while others say that the name Nagar comes from the name of the area he lived. Since the 5 villages Beldanga, Berigram, Sukhasagar, Manasapota and Palpara are so close together, this area is sometimes called Nagaradesh. Purusottama once ate snake poison when in trance state without experiencing any ill effect. This was a source of great astonishment to all who witnessed it. Many of Nityananda Prabhu's associates often displayed such miraculous powers. So, this was about all information we could find about Purusottama Das Thakur, and as I said, we quoted some excerpts at least 2 times, sometimes even 3 times, and so Purusottama Das Thakur, to summarize, he's an amazing Vaishnava in a line, the genealogical line of Vaishnavas, right? His grandfather was a, great associate of the Lord, his father, he himself, and his son also. So the 4th generation of pure associates of the Lord appeared in his lineage. He was associate of Lord Nityananda. He was Daman Gopal in Vraja, the 10th Gopal. He was associate of Lord Krishna. He was definitely a very fortunate and very special personality. Just few words about his disciple Devakinandan Das. As far as I know, Devakinandan Das, and it's very, very famous prayer, Vaishnava Abhidhana, where he praises all devotees, starting from devotees in Vrindavan, in Mayapur, and then all over the world, and devotees of Gauranga, and devotees of Nityananda, actually, just praising all the devotees. And as far as I remember, he was the Gopal Chakravarti, I think, the one who offended Srivas Thakur by placing the Kali Puja's paraphernalia on his porch, and then he suffered leprosy, and then he begged Lord Chaitanya to forgive him. Lord Chaitanya ignored him, but when he returned back as a sannyasi to Navadvip, and then again Gopal Chakravarti approached him, and then Lord Chaitanya said, I cannot forgive you, but you could ask forgiveness from Srivas Thakur, and that's what he did. And then again, as far as I remember, he became the Devakinandan Das. Right. So, and that he was disciple of Purusottama Das Thakur. Hare Krishna, that was all for today. There is a big festival, of course, Mayapur festival going on here in Mayapur right now. So I personally very busy. I'm pretty sure all of you are also very busy with a lot of seminars and kirtans and different services. So I'm a little bit struggling to do the podcast every day. Most probably until the Gaura Purnima, it would be sporadically done. Still, I'm trying my best to do it every day. Let's see. But most probably there will be some day, especially during Kirtan Mela. I most probably will be absent, and this is 10th to 14th of, actually 11th to 14th of March, but 10th is Adivas. Okay, Jai Srila Purusottama Das Thakur Avirbhava Mahotsava ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Nittai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Please support our channel by taking 1 second of your precious time to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.